Good morning, this is Sheila, and today I am going to show you how I made my, this was the silver and gold travel notebook journals, and I did them for Christmas, so I'm going to show you how I created this. Alright, so let me put this aside, and the first thing you're going to need is decide what color cardstock you want. I'm using white because I'm going to be making some snowman themed journals next. And so you need a piece of cardstock that measures 8 1/4 by 11. So you can use the 8 by 11, 8.5 by 11 sheets and just cut it down. I did laminate my cover, but you don't have to. If you don't have a laminator, you can just do it without it and just maybe do a little thicker cardstock, or you can just glue 2 pieces of regular cardstock together. And then once you have it cut down and laminated, if you decide to laminate it, you're going to put your cover on a scoreboard. And I will have all these measurements in the description box below, so don't worry if you don't get everything down. And you're going to score, let's see, you are going to score at 4 inches, 4 1/4, 4 1/2, and 4 3/4. And then you're going to score at 8 3/4, 9 inches, 9 1/4, and 9 1/2. And those are your score lines so that it folds over nicely. Then measure halfway up on the shorter side, on the short side, halfway up, make a mark, and you can punch a hole, and you can add what do they call these? A brad? Not a brad. Oh my goodness, eyelet. Add one of these. You don't really need one. You could just use these sticker eyelets things and put one on each side just to reinforce it, especially if you don't laminate it. But I did use the eyelet. And then I already got my cover started here. So what I did was I took some really pretty blue ribbon, tied it into a knot, and then I added this little button with a jingle bell, so when I'm wrapping it up it kind of looks decorated. I may even do my decorations on a video after we put it together, but for now we're just going to do the basics. Okay, so then once you have all your score lines, you can fold them to make sure they all fold really well. And if you do laminate your cover, I did do my lines scoring after it was laminated. It was easy. I thought it was going to be hard, but it really wasn't. So then in my Christmas journals, the first ones I did, I used 4 notebooks with 15 pages each, which folded in half makes 30, and then 60 if you count both sides for each booklet. But for this journal I decided to do 3 booklets because when I started adding pockets and embellishments and stuff like that, it got a little bulky. So I think 3 signatures are good, and I used 10 pages instead of 15. That way you can decorate all your pages the way you like. You can turn it into a junk journal and whatever you like. So 3 signatures or 3 notebooks, however you want to look at it, and then with just 10 pages each. And I will, like I said, I'll have all the measurements down below. So I left my cover once again blank for now. I may decorate it a little bit later, but that's going to be in the next video. So I do not add pockets to the inside of my cover. You can if you like, but like I said, you don't want to make it too bulky, so I like to leave it plain. Okay, so now the elastic, I have this really thin elastic that I found in a bunch of stuff. I don't know the brand, but it's really small. It's probably like 1 millimeter, or no, it's not 2 millimeters, so it's probably like 1 millimeter. I'm not even sure, but you can use thicker elastic, whatever you like. And all I did was measure. I got stuff hanging here. All I did was in the middle of the score lines. If you can see that, I'm not sure, the light is kind of making it hard to see. I'm hoping you can see. But in the middle, I'll do it on this side. In the middle of the score lines, I just marked 3 little holes. And I used my smaller hand punch to make smaller holes. And then I took one about, let me see if I can measure, about, I don't know, maybe like 2.5 feet of elastic I took out, and I took a little tape and I put a little tape at the end of my elastic just to make it a little easier to get through the holes. If you have a Caesar, tongue-tied this one. If you have a needle with a big enough eye for the elastic to go through, you can use that. So I always start in the middle, and actually, you know what, maybe I will show you how I did that. Alright, so see, I have my lines already scored, so I'm just gonna like fold them over. I'm gonna do this part so you can see how I put my elastic in. Okay, so I'm gonna get this scoreboard out of the way. And I'll show you this part. Okay, so I took my ruler, and make sure you're making your holes on this is the bigger side of the notebook. Make sure you're doing this, not this side, because this is the cover side where it's gonna flap over to the front. So make sure you're doing the middle one. Okay, so I laid down my ruler, and it's about 3/4 inches. So what I did was just go near the edge, like maybe 1/8 in from the top of the white paper, if you can see that, and I just marked at 1/8 of inch and just like in the center of each section when you scored. And then I turned it around and I did the same thing. Now you don't want your hole like right at the top of that paper, just a little bit, like 1/8 down. And then what I did, I took my punch and I just poked 3 holes, tried to make them as even as possible across. Oops, I think I messed up on that one. That's what I get when I'm talking and trying to do something. Alrighty, so I'm just poking a hole where I made the marks. So you can see there's 3 holes on each side. Then I just took a length of the elastic that I'm using. If you don't have elastic, I did at one time try to use string. It really doesn't work that well because you want some give to the elastic. So I don't really recommend trying to use string. So now I'm just taking a very small piece of tape, and I'm just gonna like kind of make a sharp, like have this come to a point somewhat. So I'm just rolling the tape around. You just want to make it a little bit sturdy at the top, so it's easier for the elastic to go through. So how I string my notebook, I start in the middle first. I'm sorry if my voice is kind of scratchy. I apologize for that. So I start in the middle and I pull the elastic through and I leave a little tail. Then I'm going to go to this hole here to the left of the first hole. and pull the elastic all the way through, but make sure you leave that tail. Then I'm going to go down the bottom and go through and pull it through. Then I'm going to go right back, come up into the middle and pull it through, just like that. Now I'm going to go back up to the top or the bottom, whichever way you want to look at it, and go back through the middle hole and pull it through. Now I'm going to go to the right and go back through to the on the right side and pull that through, and then go down the bottom and go into the bottom hole on that right side. And this is already starting to get hard to put through. Come on, I'm almost done. Okay, of course on camera. Alright, now pull that through. And don't pull it too tight because you don't want your book to fold over. So now I'm going to go back through the middle hole. Hopefully, if this is going to go back through for me. So go back through the middle hole. Oops. Alright, maybe I'm going to trim a little bit of that off because it's starting to get loose. I mean, let's see if this helps. It did. Oops, pull that through. Pull a little on it just to make these a little taut. See how they are? Now I'm just going to tie just a simple knot somewhere in the middle. Try to make it even. Don't pull it too tight, just a little taut. Make a double knot. Alright, not as easy. Come on. Alright, make a double or a triple knot, maybe 3. Okay, so after you're done, trim off the edges a little. So now your elastic's in, and you do have 4 elastics that you could add another notebook, but like I said, the other books were too bulky, so I'm just going to add 3, but you can go ahead and add 4 if you like. Alright, so that's how the elastics are done. So I'm going to put that aside. Next, you'll cover your 3 notebooks. And I went ahead and got mine ready because I didn't want to have to do all the steps, you know, like cutting and all that stuff. But for your covers, because you're going to need 3 covers, they measure, you're going to need 3 pieces of cardstock, 7.5 by 8.25. 7.5 wide, 8.25 the long way. So you need 3 of these. And I did round my edges. You don't have to, but you could even do decorative edges if you like, whatever you like. Then for the pages that go in, I chose lined paper, some plain paper, and some graph paper. You could put whatever paper you like. You could even put tea dye, coffee dye, make it into a junk journal, whatever you like. But those are the pages that I chose. And like I said, I only did 10. Now the paper that you're going to put in the notebooks is a tiny bit smaller than the covers. And you'll need 10 pieces of each paper that measures 7.25 by 8 inches. So 7.25 this way and 8.25, no, 8 inches, let me see, 8 inches this way. And then you're going to fold them in half. And those, so that's simple. Okay, so now you got all your papers for your notebook. Now we're going to put them together. So I chose this gray string. This, now here you don't need elastic, you can use string. I chose this gray because like this is going to be a snowman themed journal, the next two that I'm making. And I have this really cute snowman paper. So I figured this would match. Because this is going to be for the pockets, for the inside the notebooks. And we'll get to that after. But I'm going to use this string. So let me grab my needle while I remember. Okay. So what I do to measure for the holes for my books, because you are going to sew them together. So what I do is open up the notebook and the paper. And you can see that the inside paper is a little bit smaller than the cover. So you want to make sure that it's even in the middle. Okay. And what I do is put my booklet like this on the table. Because you want to make sure the middle section, all the pages are butted up right. And then what I do is I put 2 of these binder clips. One on this side, and then I turn the notebook over and I put one on the other side. And that keeps the pages and the cover from moving around. And so you're going to open it back up. Make sure your pages are right. See how these are coming, they look a little messed up here. So I want to make sure they line up. Okay. Yeah, I guess that's how it goes. Alright. So anyway, you're going to open up your book and we're going to make 3 marks where we're going to punch holes for our string. So take your ruler, making sure my camera is still on, and measure on the paper. I think I gotta move my paper just a little bit, but in the middle. So the paper is 8 inches long, so you're gonna make a mark at 4 inches in the middle, and then you're gonna come in a 1/2 inch on one side, on either side, and make a mark at the 1/2 inch mark. So now you have your marks. Before I punch my holes, I'm going to reposition my paper because it's not quite where it should be. Just, that's real important that your pages are centered, or it's not going to come out right. So if you can use a hole punch, or you can use an awl, like something like this too, but be careful because I poked myself with my finger. Ooh, ouch. So what I'm doing, I'm going to use my big bite, and I'm going to put the metal piece, you know, that, whoops, would help if I had it set up. See this metal piece? I'm going to make it even. That little mark, I'm going to make sure I put it in the middle of that. Right on that middle fold line. And make your holes for your string. Okay, so there's your holes. So now I'm going to take some string, and I don't know, about maybe, I don't know, a couple of, about 3 feet, I don't know, 30 inches, something. You might not need it all. But I always make sure I do a little bit longer because I don't want to be too short. So what I'm going to do to string mine, I'm going to start in the middle. and I'm going to pull the string through, and I'm going to leave a tail. Alright, the camera shut off on me. Oh well. So anyway, I don't know where right now where it shut off, but I had did this first booklet, and I was going to do the other two off camera, but because it shut off and I didn't hear it, so I measured my holes, which is at 4 inches in the middle and then a 1/2 inch on either side, and then I'm using my big bite to make the holes, centering it over the middle line, the fold line. Just like so, and then I'm taking my string and I start in the middle again, go through there, and then leave a tail and come up to one of the other holes. Then I'm going to go back down in the middle and come up on the other side, just like that. And then I'm going to pull it taut, you know, not too tight because you don't want to bend your notebook, but I'm going to tie a knot in near the middle hole. Just like that. That's number 2. Now number 3. Making sure my pages are lined up on either side. And the mark for my holes in the center fold line. So like I said, one at 4 inches and then a 1/2 inch on either side. And then I want to invest in a camera with the flip out, so I can keep an eye on myself, because oops, sometimes I'm in the middle of doing a video and the camera likes to play games and shut off, and then I have to start all over, and that's just wasting my time and I get irritated. I don't like to repeat things. Alright, so like I said, we'll start in the middle, leave a tail, and then come up on one end, whichever end you want, doesn't matter. And I'm going to go back down the middle. Oops, and now my whole string came out. Be careful of that so it doesn't happen. I'm going to hold it, go back down the middle and come up the other side, and now we're just going to tie it off. Yeah, not too difficult. So now all your 3 booklets are done. So now on the inside you can put decorative paper on if you like. I'm leaving mine blank for now because I don't know exactly how I'm going to decorate. I have a lot of cute decorations that I might want to add, so I'm not gonna do too much to it. So now on the front and back cover there are pockets. So I have this really cute snowman paper that I made in my pockets. You need 6 pieces out of cardstock, and they measure 4 5/8 this way and 3 inches tall. And then I went ahead and scored a 1/4 of an inch on either end. And I already scored and cut off my ends just to save time. Now I always mention, excuse me, especially for pockets, I always use glue because the score tape does not dry. So when you put things in your pockets, the score tape can do, oh, I did it again. I know. I forgot to trim off my corner. Okay, hold on. Let me pause the camera. Alright. I had to turn the camera off anyway because I had changed the battery. So anyway, I trimmed one corner, the one, I made it round so it can fit right in. I don't go all the way to the bottom or to the side, but so that's one pocket. Now on the back, I'm going to trim the opposite side. Okay, so that's one. Now I'm just going to go ahead and fold all my pockets. Make sure you trim your edges, your corner before you glue, because I made that mistake with the first one, forgetting to do that. But if you leave your corners square, then obviously you don't have to do that. I'm sorry if I go off camera when I'm gluing, but you know how to do the gluing. That one's a little crooked, see? Oops. Okay, that's number 2. Now, number 3. Now, see what my lines, I have a header at the top, so make sure you put your pocket down the bottom, not at the top, because it'll be upside down. Alright, there's that one. I can't believe that we're already into the holidays. It's crazy how time flies. Alright. Alright, so that's the pockets. Just gonna wipe some of that glue. Okay. Those are the pockets. Alright, so before I put, well, now I'll just show you. Okay. You can put your notebooks in any way you like. It's the middle one. Like I said, you could try to put 4, but it just makes it more bulky. And if you want to decorate your pages and things. Alright, so there's the notebooks, and then this folds over, and then this wraps around, and then you just tuck it in between. And there you go. There's your notebook. And see, there's plenty of room for decorations now. Alright, so I'm going to stop the video here, and the next video you can watch me decorate, you know, do my process with decorating this one. Thank you so much for watching, and if you're not a subscriber, please hit the subscribe button, and hit the like button also. And within, I'm hoping in a couple of weeks I hit 500, and I think I will be giving away one of these travel notebooks for appreciation for all your comments and your support. And again, thank you so much for watching, and you have a wonderful day.